Hello, everybody. Today we have the Spider Crawler Star Wars Mech, and this actually comes from a previous video of the blimps. So the body of this mech comes from a blimp that I've designed previously, and you can see the images around here. The mech before that, the fighter mech, the Star Wars fighter mech I've made is from a blimp also. That one is based on the AT-AT design from Star Wars. This one is based on, I don't think it's based on anything at all. I just thought it would be cool to have a spider mech if in the universe of Star Wars, since I'm creating this steampunk meets Star Wars kind of thing. So this is of course a Rebel spider crawler mech, and the body mainly. There's three parts, right? The body, the legs, and the objects, the additions to the model itself. The body comes from the blimp. I've shown how like I took apart a car that was a toy car that it's like a pullback where you pull it back and it goes forward because it's got these motors on the inside, and the car body comes from that. And then I've placed some some cylinders with fuels, so they suggest that there's like fuel tanks. I've placed some guns on there, some robots that are controlling this mech, and a little bit of materials that the car body is carrying on it. So there's like this idea of this mech being able to fight and also transport materials. Um, Another thing about that was the idea of found objects. So the rebels usually have these ships that they have repaired from the wars and things like that, because they find objects and they put them together. And so I wanted to make that the spider mech into a found object mech. So yeah, next thing is the legs. The legs are the main part of this because a spider, as you can see, a spider has legs, and that's what defines the spider's, the main like focus of what a spider is its weird legs. And so I wanted to go with four legs because the previous mech that we did had four legs as well. And for the legs, I would say the legs are also divided in three parts. There's the thighs, the middle connection portion, and the calves. The calves you can see are a they are there's like the calf area, the main portion where all the joints and everything goes together, and there's a portion that has a stinger at the end, a sort of sharp object that the mech stands on, is able to crawl on, and is able to mainly walk up, or go up things. And so yeah, so that's how the legs were made. The connection piece is just a connection piece that has movable parts, and the thighs are the main pieces that go into the body. So it's a connection between the body and the calves and the connection points. So I made four of those legs. Spiders have eight. My mech has four. I also put some greeblies on it. I put some wiring to show the idea, to suggest the idea of a found object thing. And so yeah, I put those together. I also added a crane to it because I don't know, I just felt like I could add things to the front of it because it seemed very unused almost, and it looks really cool with the crane because now it has a purpose of like carrying things, even though it has a little bit on top, right? So then the positioning of the legs was the next part, was how to position the legs to have a dynamic motion to this static mech, right? Because this is a diorama, it's going to be static. I wanted to create motion even though there wasn't any. So as I've talked before, you can create motion with just having a particular positioning of the body. So a running object has more dynamic quality to it than a static standing person. And so of course the back legs, I placed them in a way that they were in a static position of pushing forward, and the front legs I created in a way that they were trying to grab at something. And you've seen the video and you know that the crawler is crawling up a wall, up a terrain. And so that's why I made the mech in a way that it was crawling instead of it was just sitting. So yeah, it's crawling up a thing. Uh, in case of painting, it was easy because the car body was already painted red, metal red color, and so I wanted to go with the similar paint for the legs, and so the legs have similar paints. The only thing that is different is the metals on the greeblies is a bit more metallic, a bit more white in color. And yeah, if the materials mainly used here are basswood, because it's easy to make pieces out of basswood. I also added a little bit of a body to the um, main body, the a little bit of body to the main body, just to increase the the size of the mech itself. And so yeah, that was also seen in the last video of the fighter mech. I added a little bit of a crane kind of mechanism to the front, and that was done. It was time to make the terrain. In case of the terrain, I have a simple piece of wood on at the bottom, and then there's an angled piece of cardboard that holds up the wall that the mech is climbing onto. In case of the wall, I had to work with paper mache, and as you've seen before, I made some terrain stuff for the wall, and I painted the walls a bit of a rocky color, and the same goes for the terrain that's on top of the wood. And I added some rocks to this, and I painted it the stone and rocky colors. I added a bit of um, mossy areas, and then I just painted the bottoms a bit of a black color, so it hides itself, and that was the entire mech. I just had to place it onto the terrain, and that was it. That is basically the entire mech. Of course, thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna play the video one more time for you guys, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.